the first thing to understand is the time zone. Now, the Philippines is about 12 hours time difference. And I say about because they don't have daylight savings time. And this is important, especially if you have a set schedule with a virtual assistant, because when we set our clocks forward or set them backwards, their clocks are not changing. So if you have someone who starts their shift at 8 a.m. Eastern time, when we have daylight savings time, it might go up to 9 or down to 7, and you have to figure that out with the virtual assistant. A quick tip with that is I like to keep their schedule the same, especially if I have 24/7 virtual assistants. I don't want them to have to move their time up or down or back, especially if I have lots of virtual assistants. And the reason behind this is they might have outside activities. They might have to pick up their kid at school. And if you start adjusting everyone's schedule by an hour here or there, it's just a lot of extra work than if you say, hey, just come in at 7 instead of 8, or come in at 9 instead of 8. And you can make some small adjustments here or there, but it just keeps it normal, and it only is for a few months anyway until it goes back to the original schedule. So understand their time zone is 12-hour difference. Also understand that a lot of them are used to working nights. The most popular job in the Philippines is call centers. And with call centers, they are working US time zones a lot of times. So it's not unreasonable to ask someone to work the night shift. Now, if you hired a US virtual assistant and said, hey, I need you to work from 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. the next morning, they're probably going to have issues with that most of the time. In the Philippines, it's not that uncommon. At the same time, not all people from the Philippines want to do that. Some of them do want to work during their day, and you should really establish that up front. I've hired virtual assistants that work night. I've hired virtual assistants that work day. I've hired split shifts where they would work 8 to 12 a.m. and p.m. Eastern time. So you should really figure out what you want and make sure that they're good with it. And I also like to ask if they've worked a graveyard shift before, because sometimes trying it out for the first time, it's brutal. I know if I had to change my schedule and only work at nights, it might take me a few weeks to get used to it. Who knows how that would affect my health? Who knows how that would affect other parts of my life? So if I'm going to hire someone to work the graveyard shift, I want to make sure that they're 100% okay with it. They're not going to want to change it later, and they have some experience that they know they can do it.